fight it out. Opponent plays on the stand side, a narrow leader as they go to the line.
Driving finish, could be King on the near side.
Making ground in the orange and blue out wide, it's Fantasy Lady.
Fantasy Lady on the near side of Sense of Style.
I'm joined this morning by leading Irish rider Billy Lee. Billy, coming up to the end of the season now on Saturday at Naas. It's been a great season for you. Just knocked up over half the century, 54 winners I think it was, and riding in some of the biggest races of the year.
Yeah, no, delighted with the way the season has gone. Sure, as we know, we all got stopped for near enough 9 weeks, so to get over 50 winners again is it makes it a nice season. And look, we still have 2 or 3 meetings left now before the end of the year, or for the end of the grass season, and we've plenty racing in Dundalk, so hopefully we can build away and keep going, keep knocking winners until the end of the year.
And you probably missed out on a few winners too, you know, when your trips over to France, you had the quarantine. That's a bit of a kick.
Yeah, look, it's something, when it did happen, I had to accept that possibly I was going to miss a few winners, but I thought at the time he was good enough to go and warrant to go over, but unfortunately the ground went against us on the day, but he still ran a respectable race, I thought. It's just one of those things. It didn't work out, but I can't complain. He's been brilliant to me. Romanised, he gave me a Group 1 winner and 2 Group 2 winners, so I've no qualms about him at all.
And you've a great association, and Ken Condon, William McCreary and Paddy Toomey, 3 trainers that had a great season.
Yeah, exactly. No, they all had strong years.
Ken Condon in particular.
Ken had a very good year, he had plenty of group winners. Was lucky enough to ride a group winner for him as well, and a listed winner. And he had a very strong year, and hopefully he can build on that now. I think he's gone away and bought some nice yearlings for the year ahead, so hopefully Paddy Toomey the same. He's stocked up again, and we're all looking forward to next year, and William McCreary the same.
And what way do you work it? Do you head down to the Curragh 1 day a week? Or?
Yeah, no, I'd be on the Curragh now 3 mornings a week there when we're real busy at the height, when we're getting them ready for early in the season, and that. So I'd be on the Curragh 3 mornings a week, and I'd be blowing Paddy's 2 mornings a week, so I'd be kept going.
You do a bit here as well?
I do a bit here when I can, but I mightn't see here for 3 weeks if I was busy. It's when we're get to mid-February now and we get going, it's hell for leather getting them ready and for the season ahead.
And you picked up a nice few outside rides too. I know you won a big Premier handicap for Johnny Murtagh.
That's right, yeah. That came out, unfortunately. Ben Cohen got the fall and he broke shoulder, he was out, and that just came about, and I was lucky to get on him, and Johnny Murtagh's had a fabulous year, and the horse, he won really well that day, and he's a horse to look forward to for next year as well.
What do you think your highlight of the season was, looking back now?
Yeah, no, I think getting Romanised back, we didn't think he was fully wound up for the Minstrel that day, and to put in that performance that he did, he won well. As I said, the ground went against him the next day, and I think it might have told for his last run too that it had taken more out of him than we thought. So look, he's aiming for Hong Kong. He'll get a prep run in Dundalk, and hopefully he'll come through with that, and we'll get the trip out to Hong Kong. I rode a couple of winners at the Galway Festival again. 2 big handicaps on Champions Weekend was a good highlight, and riding a Group 3 winner for William McCreary and Gorn on Abona Plays was another highlight, and riding a few nice ones for Paddy Toomey as well. I think the listed winner on Fantasy Lady, and obviously Sana Lee, I'd have to mention her. She really progressed all the way through the year. It wasn't a bad run in Ascot, but she was slow away, and I actually made interference after about 50 yards and knocked me out of the race, but she actually won a bad race. So look, there are a few of the highlights for the year.
It must make the job a hell of a lot easier, riding them good horses day in, day out, week in, week out.
Look, it does. It's what you want to be doing, because it's a long year, and you like having something to look forward to and getting excited about. I still go out and do the day job every day, and I enjoy that. But when you know you get to sit up and a nice 2-year-old that you look forward to, or a nice 3-year-old that's going into their classic season, it gets you excited.
And would you say that you're probably riding to the best of your ability in it this year?
Yeah, no, like how would you say, like, it was such a condensed season and everything happens at probably 100 mile an hour. It's only now that really near enough getting to stop and have a look back and saying, yeah, no, we're definitely riding as good as ever, if not a bit better in places. So look, you can always improve, and I'm always looking to improve in that, and I'm always trying to ride as many winners as I can in the season. And no, I felt like in the year that it was riding well, and things went well.
And was there any disappointments throughout the season? Maybe horses that you thought were going to do better than they did?
Not too much. I just suppose, you know, going back to Romanised again, it was just a pity, you know, the ground went against them. And look, that's the luck of the draw. We had a good ground the year before when you won the Jack Lamara. So it's just that's the thing about those good horses, you know, and he has to have good ground, and it's just the way it worked out. It's disappointing, but at the same time you have to take those things on the chin and move on. Not really. I think most of the horses we done well with, my trainers they done well with, and I can't see too many disappointments. And you know, you'll be always thinking a 2-year-old will show you a bit in early spring and they disappoint, but that always happens. You know, there's always a few, but no, on the whole I think I've been very happy with the season and happy with the way horses are running.
And you know, if a horse does disappoint, there's no point in getting bogged down in it really. You know, when you're doing it day in, day out, tomorrow's another day.
Exactly, that's what I always say. Look, move on. You know, you never know, there might have been something wrong with the horse or something like that, and give it a little bit of time, it might come back around, but try not to dwell on it and move on, and just, you know, you'll be hoping that you'd have 4 or 5 rides again tomorrow and just move on. Just
on your own riding, you know, you've been one of the leading riders in Ireland now for a few years. What do you think your biggest attribute would be in your own style of riding?
I think plenty of patience with the horse, and probably just, you know, it's always good to know your horses and that, but I've ridden plenty of winners of horses I've never sat in before, so knowledge of the tracks now and everything like that is a big help, and just confidence in my own riding then, you know, just go out and, as Andy Oliver says, go out and get the job done, you know, just that.
Whenever you mention the patience there, one ride that actually sticks out to me was down Limerick, Inner Beauty. I think you won it, but you went up a gap and you waited for the gap to come. That was a great ride. Yeah, and on another day it might not opened at all. It's just the way it worked out, and you know, she was a hardy little filly, that one. She wasn't over big, but she had a big heart in her, and she skipped through the gap, and she really quick and well that day. Look, those they look well, but on another day that gap might not open, and I probably went to the line on the bridle. It's the luck of the draw. There's millimetres of winning and losing in those type of races, and no, it worked out well that day. And as I said, I think patience and just waiting to know when to kick, and knowing the tracks is a big thing in Ireland, because it's not like you know, going around Dundalk everywhere else every day. It's, you have different type of undulating tracks. You have the Curragh is a unique track. Every track in Ireland is a unique track. There's no two tracks the same, and they take plenty knowing, and I'd be hoping that stands me in good stead. And what would your favourite track be in Ireland?
I think Cork would be my most favourite track, because I always think the best horse wins in Cork. There's never really too many hard luck story. It's a very fair track. Like Leopardstown is a very unique track, but there can be hard luck stories. Same with Curragh a little bit, not too much now that I think when they switched stalls to the centre of the track for the sprints, and that took out the hard luck stories out of a bit now, and it's more fair than it was before. It used to suit the ones that used to get onto the rail and you know, onto the stand rail in those sprints. It was a big thing back then, but that's sort of taken out of it now. But I think Cork is probably my favourite track, as in there never seems to be a hard luck story. That 7 furlong sprint track is as good as you ride anywhere in the world. I think, you know, you can just there's not a blemish on it, and it's a great track. And even the round track still is a magnificent track. As I said, not too many hard luck stories around there.
Fantasy Lady, it was another great ride, won a listed contest above at the Curragh. You know, she definitely looks like a filly to watch next year.
Yeah, you'll be hoping. She's a fine filly. She's one that's progressing the whole time, and she's getting stronger and everything. She'd run over 6 in Cork on quick ground, and she'd come on from it, and she actually ran up in Dundalk and was second. I'd probably tell a real nice filly of Kevin Pendergast, who was sister to Autad.
Yeah.
So that turned out, you know, that, and George Lyons was third. So we were happy just going, because we were sort of, you know, she was sort of coming into the race, trying to get a bit of black type and maybe finish up with her for the year. But she travelled beautifully and took me into the race real well. And you know, she won. Even though she was only a short head, I felt like she was still a bit green when she got to the front and pulled up a small bit with me. So I think there's plenty of progression there, and she's a filly with no doubt will get a strong mile next year, and she's one to look forward to. Hopefully she can turn into a classic filly, you know. She'll step up to the plate for them.
So just on your off season, you know, when you're winding down, what do you do? How do you get up to any hobbies?
Not too much. I'd just like to come back here to home to Limerick now and a bit, helping Gillian out, and just tipping away like that, just keep things ticking over. Like, we'll be still going to Dundalk and that, but just like to keep it low key as I can. I've been away a couple of times in winters and that, but obviously with this year and everything, I didn't plan anything like that, and just decided to stay at home and look, I'll just tip away for the winter here and keep things simple enough.
And how do you keep the fitness up, you know, when you're not racing every day? It must be a bit different.
Yeah, not too bad. I tip away, do a bit of running and that, and a bit of strength and conditioning, small bit. But other than that, I actually don't lose too much fitness away. I'd be tipping away here, and if we kept going, I wouldn't lose too much fitness, so not too bad that way.
Next year's season, maybe if you had an ambition or a target, what would you love to do next year?
You know, like, as I said before, I go into every season riding as many winners as I possibly can. I always try and beat the previous year. Yeah. I nearly have, you know, I had 57 last year, 54 now. Obviously there's 3 meetings left, and hopefully, look, I still haven't, you know, I've been trying to equal it now if I can. Same again, I'll be trying to beat that again next year, ride as many winners as I can, and especially trying to get as many Group 1 listed winners, and try and get another Group 1 on board if you know, they're the ones you'd like to be winning, and that'd be the ambition for next year now.
Thanks, Billy, for having the chat with me, and I wish you all the best in the dog over the winter, and I'll get chatting to you before next season.
So thanks, son.